the shooting itself of
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk. There's a lot of strange details. I mean, there's just all kinds of conspiracy theories out there, and I hate using that term. But people are just kind of using their brains and trying to put things together, I guess. But um, there's just so many weird theories, but there's a lot of oddities with the shooting itself.
So many oddities. Like the more time progresses and the less information that we have, the more it leads to us having to search for stuff our own. And why that's dangerous, and I think everybody should search for things their own, but the reason it's dangerous is because it's easier to start sending people down different paths.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important because it's trying to muddy the water. This has a very past event vibe to it, because they're now remodeling where Charlie was set up. They've torn up the grass, they've putting in a new ceiling of the place right behind him, and they're doing all this remodeling of what you would think that, and maybe they have enough pictures, but you would think that it hasn't even been a month.
Yeah.
And this was a crime scene. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying there's some people's like, oh, you don't expect people to clean up a crime scene. No, I expect the tent to be down. I expect all that other stuff. But what if the FBI or what if the local police said, you know what, we need to recreate something. We don't understand this. A lot of times they'll go return back to a scene and maybe set some pieces back in place so they can re-visualize things. But if you've completely remodeled that particular area, then it's going to be really hard for you to know where exactly things are set up and get the trajectory perfect.
Yeah. It's kind of similar vibes to 9/11, like when the towers came down and investigators weren't allowed on the scene. Instead, it was cleanup crews that were on the scene. So it has a very similar vibe to that. Or even like especially with Tyler Robinson, there's so many things that don't fit the picture with this guy. He almost seems like he's like the Lee Harvey Oswald of this generation.
Yeah.
He just didn't get taken out by, who was that, Sirhan, or no, that's the RFK guy.
That was Ruby.
Ruby, yeah. Yeah, just kind of, Tyler almost seems like a patsy. And especially so apparently he was on this rooftop with a Mauser, a 30-06 rifle from, what is that, an Italian Mauser or something? Or I think it's like a modernized Mauser that he was using. But we're not even going to talk about the 30-06 aspect of it. Just the fact that he was on the roof of a building and was able to, and this is the FBI's official explanation, is that he disassembled the rifle, came off of the roof, ran away into the woods, and then reassembled the rifle. The problem with it is, one, you cannot disassemble and reassemble a Mauser that quickly. It's not an M4A1. It's not an M16. It's not a couple of clicks and pulling the bolt out in like 30 seconds. It's not that simple. You need special tools to take it apart. But the fact that the FBI said that not only did he take it apart that quickly, but he managed to fit a barrel. I mean, a Mauser barrel is about the same as an M1 Garand, which I have back home. And I can guarantee you're not fitting that barrel in like a little Camelback, like the little black backpack that he had. There's no way that you could fit an entire Mauser inside of that. Like, and especially like if he stored the 30-06 or the Mauser in his bag, there's the surveillance footage of him coming up the stairs. Where's the rifle? Where is it? So if it's not in his backpack, then that means it's already up on the roof, which means that somebody on the inside put the rifle there. But still, it doesn't explain, because there's footage of him coming off the roof, and you don't see him with the rifle, but it ends up in the woods somehow. Hey everybody, just want to interrupt real quick and say that if you would like to support the show financially, there's a link down in the description to our Buy Me a Coffee. Any amount of money that you could donate, we would greatly appreciate and would go a long way towards growing this show. So without interrupting you any longer, let's get back to it.
Let's talk about the footage coming off the roof. Okay, real simple. All the FBI, the police, the university, all they need to do is give us another 30 seconds before what they show us. And we can see everything. We can see probably how he got on the roof. We can see him if he assembled the gun, we can see him assemble the gun. Because if he's that fast at assembling and disassembling the gun, we'll be able to see that. All of that will be visible with an extra, let's just give us 30 seconds. Let's, just in case time is off a little bit. An extra 30 seconds is all you need to do is give us that part of the video. And all of us that think that this is a conspiracy or something like that will be like, oh, there's what happened.
There's what happened.
Yep.
There's the answer. It's just like with the plane hitting the Pentagon. Mm-hmm. That's all you had to do is show us the video of it, but instead you showed us like 4 pictures.
And isn't it like we have about 4 pictures of Tyler too?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's part of what we're saying, how it seems like a bit of a coordinated operation. Like Tyler, I think at this point, at a bare minimum, there's no way he was working alone. At a bare minimum. Now, people are blaming the different security guards, and there's the Matt Damon guy where it looks like he's like playing with his arm, and I mean, if there's a security detail, using hand signals and stuff to communicate, I mean, that's standard. That's normal. I feel bad for all these random security guards and friends of Charlie Kirk where they're like, this guy did it and that guy did it. It's like, no.
So I do want to show you firsthand. So you're going to see this. This was real popular the last couple of days. The one guy had Meta glasses. So I'm wearing Meta glasses. I'm wearing virtually the exact same glasses. So I'm going to show you what happens. I'm going to look at the camera. I'm going to take a picture, and I'm going to look at the camera, and I'm going to do a short little video. So here's the picture. Here's how you take a picture. Okay, it took a picture. Here's how you do a short video. There's a short video. So you'll see that going off because a lot of people are wondering, oh, why did he touch? Is it a secret code that he touched his glasses? No, he's got Meta glasses. Now, why he took a picture or took a video, there could be lots of reasons. I'm not going conspiratorial, but there wasn't anything. I read something that was like, oh, he had something special in his glasses, is why he touched his glasses, is what made the mic blow up. I'm like, no. I just wanted to show that the glasses, that is a normal motion if you have Meta glasses that you might make.
Yeah, and just like anybody else there, a lot of people are trying to capture the stuff for their social media. They just want to show some clips of Charlie Kirk, debating people for their own social media. So someone turning on a camera with their glasses is I mean, if this was like the 1980s and someone was like boop and like a light came on and then someone's head blew off, like you would be like, like what was that?
Yeah.
But nowadays it's like we have the technology where we have these recording devices in our glasses and stuff. So yeah, it's just like they're blaming a lot of different people. But I mean, like you said, that 30 seconds would be key to kind of putting things together. Another thing is the camera that was positioned behind Charlie Kirk that captured everything at point blank. We would have a very clear video of the entrance and exit wound. But unfortunately, the family doesn't want to release that because it's insensitive. Which to me, it's like, well, I mean, we already have footage. I don't know why another angle would make it, oh no, we're crossing a line now. But it's just very weird that one of the first things they did was confiscate that SD card in the camera, and we still haven't seen footage from it.
The other thing that I think is that we need to just go back, because you mentioned it just a minute ago, is there had to be more people involved. And let me explain how, regardless if you want to follow the official story following the text messages. If we follow the official story with the text messages, at the very end of the text message chain, when Tyler types that, oh, do you remember when I was engraving the bullets? Well, that means that the person he's talking with, which we're assuming is Lance, that they would know that he was engraving bullets. Bryan, I don't know about you, but with your guns, have you ever engraved bullets?
Never, no.
I've never engraved bullets, and the only time I know of people engraving bullets was when they were planning to assassinate someone. Because if you're going to engrave a bullet, and you're just going to shoot it into a target or something, that would be a waste, because there's a lot that could Why would you do that? You could engrave it after you shot the bullet. There's a lot of stuff that you could do because you're engraving it in the casings.
I mean, we never saw pictures of these bullets, have we?
No.
So the question is, like, were they drawn or were they engraved? You're saying engraved. They were engraved?
On the text message, it says engraved.
So that means that he used something powerful to, like, whittle...
Like a Dremel, yes.
The message into... Which you would think if you're doing that on a 30-06... like if you know how the firing pin and the primer and the gunpowder work in a bullet, on a bullet, really, or on a cartridge, on a round, you know what I mean? Like all that vibrating, you could accidentally trigger the fuse and boom, the shot would go off. Or not only that, I mean, there's a good chance you could rattle it loose to the point to where when the firing pin actually hits, the primer is not going to actually go off because everything is all wiggled out of place. So to me, it's a very strange thing to engrave the bullets. Plus, you're altering the shape of the 30-06, which could potentially affect the chamber of the rifle itself. So it's just too convenient too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an anti-fascist. Catch this, or, catch this, fascist, or, like, all these messages. It's just, like, too convenient. It's comical how convenient it is. You know what I mean?
If you're reading this, you're gay.
If you're reading this, you're gay, yeah, so...
But the key part in the text message, and this is the part that's bothered me from when the text message came out. The first time I read over the text message, because I've heard it was a text message, I heard it was from Discord. They still haven't clarified if it's a text message or from Discord. That actually does make a huge difference because there's just lots of reasons it makes a difference because of the way it would show up and print in and follow the tree. But again, going back to the great engraving, the police read on TV, OWO, okay? OWO has a particular meaning. In the text message, that's at the bottom, it says he engraved uwu. Owu and uwu have a different meaning.
I did not know. Well, you're going to have to explain that to me now, because I know both of them are some kind of weird, like, anime chibi stuff.
Easiest way to refer to it. Owu with O's means your eyes are wide open. It means you're thinking about something exciting.
Yeah.
It's a prep. It's like, oh... I just saw something, that girl's got she looks nice.
Yeah.
The other one is an event that's already happened. I feel nice. It's more of in the release or the whole like, whew, that girl was hot, hold me, whew, the one is the eyes going forward and the other is that sweating guy going back type thing.
Like squinty eye or like half eyes or something?
Yeah, that's where the U's are, is that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So and I know that sounds, I know way too much about this kind of stuff, so I'm just
yeah, you do. I'll say that. Yeah, you do. No, I mean the OWO. Yeah, I never thought of that, but it's like a face.
Yeah.
It's like it's a silly. If you watch an anime and even if it's a really serious anime and it just breaks off into like those weird comedy things with the big eyes and the squiggly mouth. Yeah. Okay, I get it now. Okay, uwu. Yeah, that's it's all so weird. The engraving bullets with a Dremel.
But if you get that much detail into writing where you put down your gun, that you changed your outfit, my love, you wouldn't screw up what you wrote on the bullet.
What else did he write? I had a hard time taking apart the Mauser and putting it back together. Like, did he just, like, spell out every bit of evidence that the FBI would need to convict this guy?
Oh, something else I learned last night that you just made me think of this. So the picture of him at the Dairy Queen.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, so there's a picture of him at Dairy Queen. Okay, that's time-stamped that it was not a long time after Charlie was killed. He's at Dairy Queen getting a Dairy Queen meal.
Okay.
One of the reporters, I can't remember what his first name is, but his last name's Webb. He went there, and the Dairy Queen is closed.
What?
It's closed. It's not a Dairy Queen anymore.
Where is it located? Just so I can look at it.
Not
look it up after the show.
Not very far away from the university. Like, not very far away from the university.
So there's a Dairy Queen in Utah close to the university that shut down.
Yes.
After Tyler Robinson ate there.
That is what's being reported, yes.
Man, it's just so weird. That's what I mean. It has that JFK DNA to it. There's just so much weird stuff, and especially like another way that that this attack was coordinated was, as soon as that shot went off, what happened? The old guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now the guy who we're referencing is, as soon as Charlie got shot, there was an older gentleman, about 60 years old or so, that stood up in the crowd and was like, I shot Charlie. So the police swarmed him, took him down. And at first, the initial reports was that it was some old boomer that took the shot. This guy, who claimed to have shot Charlie Kirk, also witnessed 9/11. He also witnessed the Boston bombing. And I forget there was another major event. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe it was just those two. Well, three, including Charlie Kirk. But I thought there was another event in there. But it's like, this guy just ends up at like all these major Black Swan events, and he's just right there ready to talk to the camera. Or in this case, act like a crazy person. Well, they ended up arresting him. And then what ended up happening is they found CP on his phone, child pornography. And now, because they found the CP, there's some legal loophole where they can't question him about the shooting because he hasn't been arrested for that. So now the line of questioning has to follow the CP on his phone, and they're not allowed to ask him anything about the shooting.
I want to mention
convenient.
Behind the tent is where they took Charlie. Okay, again, when the event's happening, we don't know if Charlie's alive or dead. Like, no one knows that. Maybe one or two people that are right there with him. But then this guy mentions it, and they take this guy who just said he shot this guy in the same location. They take them behind the tent right where Charlie was going to be. They took them back to the same places. When do you ever take...
Why would he not go straight to the back of a squad car?
Yeah, but they took them both back into the same locations.
I don't understand. Why would you take the shooter to where the victim is bleeding out?
Yes, that's the part that makes no sense. Like, I'd like someone, if there's anybody that can explain that, maybe there's an explanation for that.
Was it like a, see what you did?
Like, maybe there's an explanation for that. I would like to hear it, because right now I can't think of any, because I was looking at all the angles that they could have taken that guy, and they didn't have to take him back there. They could have taken him this way because they already had him in custody. They could have taken him in many directions, but they chose to take him in the same location that they took Charlie. Mm-hmm. Again, I've never been to the campus, so I can only go by what I'm seeing on the videos and what I'm seeing from Google views. But that's just another weird part into that whole thing.
Well, not only that, but the boyfriend, did he identify as a girl? I don't know exactly what gender he was identifying as or whatever. But the boyfriend, they released him from custody, and he's been missing since then.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's another weird thing. Like, where'd he go? Where is he?
Well, the other thing that's interesting about Lance that I find really interesting is we have very few pictures of Lance. We have supposedly a couple that came from a Instagram account that's, of course, gone now. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of speculation. Like, they said that they were on a Discord channel together. Okay, well, Discord said they weren't. Who's lying? Like, and I want to make sure we also mention, this is important. We thought he was a furry. The reason we thought he was a furry is because they were releasing the Halloween pictures that him and Tyler were wearing together.
Oh, is that what that was?
So maybe he is a furry, or maybe they just were making fun of furries dressing up like that, or maybe they just had they were just weird gays that liked a weird, interesting Halloween costume, because I don't even know what the Halloween costumes all were.
Was that like in, you ever see Trailer Park Boys?
I have seen, yeah.
Where Mr. Leahy, he dresses up as Indiana Jones, and Randy dresses up as a bumblebee or something. But anyway, I don't know why that made me think of that. But,
so that's all weird. But the simple thing is we don't, and no one seems to be a big deal that Lance is gone. Like, no one seems to be. It just doesn't seem like everybody's talking about it and like, no big deal.
It's very strange. And another thing that's really strange about Lance is his Reddit history. I don't know if you saw...
I've not.
Yeah, his Reddit account, leaked, and some of the things that he was commenting, I mean, he was very much right-wing. And that's what's very odd, too, is like Tyler's boyfriend, okay, whatever, they're gay, there's whatever, we're not judging them for that. But, the fact that the boyfriend was like really right wing, and then like immediately after the shooting, didn't he called Lance and said like, I did something terrible, and like, he was like,
that's a
text message, and he's like, oh, well, what did you do? I'm the one that did it and stuff. So it's like, I don't know, if you knew that your boyfriend was like super right wing, why would you call him celebrating that you just shot somebody on the right, especially a moderate? Like, you didn't shoot someone on the far right. You fought just like one of the regular, church going types. So it's just there's just so much weirdness.
I do want to mention something now. I'm going to warn everyone right now. This is Crazy Town. Okay, this is in the weeds over here in Crazy Town. So be forewarned, it's not something I believe, just something I came across that was really interesting. So I want you to, next time you go, I want you to start typing in Tyler under your favorite search engine. You know what's going to happen? All the Tylenol stuff's going to come up because the first 4 letters are virtually the same. And so it's muddying our ability to search for things. So I just thought it was really interesting.
Weird?
I don't know if it means anything. It could just my brain doing weird things. That's why I warned. That's why I gave the premise. This is way over in the weeds and really weird. But when I started typing it in, when I just started typing, and sometimes I'm lazy and I just let things autofill, it just, instead of Tyler, it just started autofilling all this stuff with Tylenol. And I'm just like, no. And then I had to go manually type it. But I'm just saying that was interesting that that those came so close.